Having this conversation with you guys honestly makes me kind of nervous. I quit being a bedside nurse. Morning. As you can see, we're in the new apartment, and this is the first actual vlog since, whoa, bright. Since we've actually moved in. This apartment, as you can see, has real nice lighting, so it's a big change of pace. My skin is absolutely freaking out from the stress from this past week, but we're about to do a little skincare routine. So if you guys haven't been following me on Instagram, which you should if you don't already, Lucky actually got dental surgery and he got 13 teeth extracted, which I almost died when I got my wisdom teeth taken out, so I can't believe he did so well. But they said he was a really good boy. So I'm in between two shifts, and so I'm actually going to be running some errands. We gotta return the old keys to the old apartment. Today's the last day I ever have to think about that apartment. Our apartment is about halfway unpacked. A lot of things are still in boxes / don't have a place to go. I feel like once a month my skin like freaks out like crazy, and I think it might just be time for me to go and get a facial. My very good friend is a derm NP, and so he gives me some skincare recommendations. But thank you guys for all of your kind comments on the last moving video. I think a lot of you guys were saying that probably one of the reasons I was so unhappy in Seattle was because of that old apartment, and I 1000% agree. I mean, definitely the weather is also getting better. It's summertime, and so things are just looking up. I also got these super cute gold earrings off of Amazon. I think they were like, I don't know, 10 or 20 bucks, but they're kind of the vibe. I don't know, they're just so cute and so dainty, but I feel like they just are a little bit classy, you know? I'm just so excited for this new chapter and to not have to be at that old janky place anymore. Between Kevin and myself, focus. We have all these keys that we're returning. Let me go get an envelope. Okay, we're going on an adventure today. The lighting in here is just absolutely terrible. But here's the old place. About to leave these keys here for my landlord. So we cleaned it up. I mean, it took a lot of elbow grease, but here's the bedroom. Bye. So the last time you'll see this apartment. Honestly, I'm incredibly grateful for the memories that we did have here. Like, I mean, it's almost been a year since we've been in Seattle, and it's been a tough one, and I think next year it's gonna be equally tough, but at least we'll be in a space where our mindset is probably gonna be a lot better. One thing I will definitely not miss is walking down these 6 flights of stairs in order to get to the garage. Here's my super cool car trash can I was talking about. It has this super cool push top lid, so you can put your trash in there, and it has this non-grip pad, so I'll link it down below for you guys, but highly recommend getting a car trash can if you don't have one, if you want to be like an adult. Probably should have actually came up with a better plan before I came to Daiso, because I don't even know exactly what I need, but I'm just gonna browse and see. I'm just trying to get some floor mats, but I don't think this is the vibe. Just got home. I'm gonna show you guys the haul in just a second, but I'm literally starving. Always keep snacks. If you already follow me on Instagram, then you've definitely seen me eat these before. Thank you so much to 𝘀energy for sponsoring today's video. By the time you're watching this video, it's actually gonna be Nurses Week, which is between May 6th to May 12th. I honestly think it's an understatement to say that it's been a tough year for all of the healthcare workers out there. 𝘀energy is out there doing some really amazing things. Last year, they actually gave away over 600,000 𝘀energy bars to frontline healthcare workers. Each one actually has as much caffeine as an espresso does, but without the crash that comes right after. You guys know I'm an avid green tea drinker. That's what I drink all day, every day when I'm at home. But when I'm at work, it's really hard for me to take a moment, brew some hot tea. It's honestly a great alternative to drinking a second or a third coffee. I do love that it's a familiar ingredient that's like keeping you re-energized. These bars are only 90 calories. They're also dairy-free, gluten-free, and vegan. As you can see, they're super convenient. I love taking these on the go. I always have a stash of 𝘀energy bars in here. I also keep them in the little like nook in my car, whatever that thing is called. They're also delivered straight to your door. They've got 6 core flavors, including blueberries crisp, vanilla latte, salted peanut butter, coconut chai, pumpkin spice latte, lemon raspberry. And then of course my favorite, double chocolate. And they also regularly add pretty cool flavors like peppermint mocha. In honor of Nurses Appreciation Week, for $10 you can actually get a starter kit, which includes a full-size bag of the 𝘀𝗶𝗹 energy bars, as well as 4 samples of their top flavors and free shipping. So it really doesn't get sweeter than that. I'll leave all the information linked in the description box below, so don't forget to check it out. Let me give y'all a little haul. So this is from Daiso. We got a bunch of stuff. We're basically going for a white theme everything because we've got gray floors, and then we're gonna have accents of blue and then some plants. Got a little Julie organizer to put in my makeup drawers, and then I got another one of these 4x4s. I honestly am definitely gonna need to make another trip after we actually have everything like unpacked and organized. What are these even called? Toilet brushes? Toilet brushes, it's called a toilet brush. So biggest life hack is to go to Daiso and buy these things instead of going to like container store or something, because it's way more expensive and you can get really cheap, nice things. Little trash can. So this is gonna go at the entrance actually, and we just wipe Lucky's paws after we're done taking him on a walk. So I'm gonna be using it for that. And then we also use alcohol swabs to wipe down our phones. So this will just be a little trash container. And then this I think gonna either be like a snack bin or probably just go under the sink for now and store some of the bigger things that we have. But it's all coming together. I was just picking up a couple things that I wanted. These are my absolute favorite, the Raisin Rosemary Crisps. If you've never tried these, you really should. Recently, I have been eating this. It's super delicious. It's a fried rice with bulgogi beef. Got some hummus, crunchy slaw, probably the only salad that I like. Some turkey burgers. This is my absolute favorite to pack for workday lunches. It's the kitchen style blackened chicken breast fettuccine alfredo. So I think I'm gonna be heating that up and eating that right now. And then finally strawberry smoothies. These are the ones that Kevin likes to have before he goes to work. Today, Kevin actually started a new rotation. He's on one of his hardest surgical rotations. I'll let him decide if he wants to tell you which rotation it is. I was actually up really early this morning, and so I ended up dropping him off just because, again, he's at that hospital that requires him to walk 20 minutes to get to the parking lot. It is so insane to me. I mean, I've always known how much residents have to work and what their work schedule looks like, but actually dating someone who is a resident and having to live through it and watch them work those hours, it's like a whole different story. Now I have so much more respect for physicians and the work that they do, and also completely understand now why it takes them so long to get something done or get back to you sometimes, because literally they're managing like 60 to 100 patients and there's always something going on. They're covering floor patients, they're covering clinic, like there's so much going on. This pasta is like pure bliss. This is a topic I've been meaning to talk about with you guys for some time now, and I don't know why I've been so scared to talk about it. You can hear Butto's chewing in the background. On multiple attempts, I've actually tried to film this video already, but I don't know, I never even edited the footage. I figured in honors of Nurses Week, this would be a good time to talk about this. If you watch any of my content over the past year, it's pretty obvious that this change has already happened, but I've never outwardly said it. I quit being a bedside nurse. And I have not been a bedside nurse for this past year. Now, to clarify, there are different types of nurses. A bedside nurse is typically someone who works in the hospital at the bedside, hence the name, and takes care of patients 12 hours at a time, etc. When I moved up to Seattle, that's when I actually transitioned to my current job, which is an outpatient nursing job. And so now I've been at this job for almost a year now. I feel like my thoughts are gonna be all over the place. I just want this to be really organic, so I'm sorry if things are unorganized. I just want to talk to you guys honestly about why I left the bedside and kind of some thoughts and feelings around that whole thing. Before we start, of course, disclaimer, I have nothing against bedside nursing or bedside nurses. I think bedside nurses are incredible. In fact, arguably, I think it's one of the hardest areas of nursing to work in. I have so much respect for what bedside nurses do. I myself was a bedside nurse for 2 years, and so I get it. I know how hard it is. I dare to say that it's possibly one of the hardest jobs in the world. You have to deal with people at their worst. People are sick, hungry, tired, in pain. It's extremely rewarding, but also extremely tough to work as a bedside nurse. To give you guys a little bit of context, if you're newer to the channel, I graduated from the UCLA School of Nursing back in 2018, and after I graduated from nursing school, I immediately started working in a pediatric ICU, an intensive care unit. Now, if you don't know, ICU is where the sickest patients go, and the nurse to patient ratio is typically 1:1 or 1:2. My whole life, I've always been kind of wanting to pursue this like biggest, baddest, hardest thing, right? So, you know, when you're in school, you want to get into the best colleges, you want to get the best test scores, you want to get the kind of hardest thing that you can achieve out of everything. I think every field of nursing is very difficult, but arguably you can say ICU nursing is kind of the hardest, most critical hands-on experience that you can get as an RN. I decided very, very early on that I wanted to become an ICU nurse and pursue that, and throughout school, I got really good grades, I did really well in critical care, I loved my preceptorship, like there was nothing wrong with it. Then I graduated, then I did my new grad program, which again, nothing bad against my new grad program. My new grad program was amazing. My personality was just ultimately not a good fit for the ICU. I realized really early on after graduating that, oh my God, I have to work like for the rest of my life until I retire. And I started to think more about what kind of job and what kind of work environment I wanted. Now, if you aren't familiar with the ICU, it's almost always very, very high stress. You're taking care of very sick patients, stuff is always going down, things are always changing. So it's a high pressure environment. Now, personally, I'm a person who likes things that are very constant. I like variation within the same constants, if that makes sense. And the ICU is completely not that. Like, you have no idea if you're gonna go in and get a neuro patient, a respiratory patient. You don't know if they're gonna be stable, if they're not gonna be stable. That's the nature of an intensive care unit, and that's why some nurses love it, because you get an amazing adrenaline rush. You learn a lot of stuff, and it's for some people, but it's not for all people. And I'm someone who cares deeply about what I do, and so even on the days that I'm not working, I'm constantly thinking about work, how I can be a better nurse, how I can be a better person, etc. And so I would take the stress of the ICU home with me. Now, that made it really difficult because then my off time and my on time wasn't like properly separated. I would get pre-shift anxiety. You know, nights before shift, I'd be super nervous, like not knowing what kind of assignment I was gonna get. The anxiety and all those things get better after about a year of experience. It definitely gets better, but it never quite goes away, I think. I love the kids, I love the families, the actual job and the things and the time that I got to spend with people, the advocacy, the education, those are all good things. But very, very quickly, I found myself really burnt out, very tired, really stressed, and I realized that it wasn't sustainable. I always thought that burnout was something that didn't happen to someone until they were like, you know, decades into a career or after a long, long time. And the truth is, you can be burnt out in 1 week. You can be burnt out in 10 years. You know, it just depends on you and how you are feeling, and so it's really important to think about your own emotions. And the beauty about nursing is that there is so much flexibility. You can find another job, you can continue your education, you can, you know, choose to do something else. And so I wanted a job that I was excited to wake up for, that I could sleep at night not being nervous for, that I could sustainably do without it taking such a big toll on my personal mental health in a way. That's when Kevin actually matched in Seattle, and then we were having the conversation of, oh my gosh, should I move with you to Seattle? How is this gonna work? I started looking into jobs that weren't bedside jobs. The story of how I got this job in Seattle, this is the only job in Seattle that I had applied to. Didn't think I would ever get that job, and within a couple of days I heard back from HR, and then I interviewed with management, etc. It all moved super, super fast. I got the job, and it just seemed like the perfect time to transition out of bedside. Working outpatient, I don't think makes you any less of a nurse. So if you aren't familiar with outpatient nursing, a lot of times it's like a clinic setting, a private practice, or a surgical center, things like that. A lot of hospitals also have outpatient components to them, so you can still work for a hospital system, but be an outpatient nurse. Outpatient nursing comes with a whole different set of responsibilities that you never have in the inpatient setting. I think it's just a different ball game, and you have to figure out what you are comfortable with as a person. Having this conversation with you guys honestly makes me kind of nervous. I just don't know what people are gonna say or what they're gonna think. I just want to say, if you are burnt out in whatever field of nursing you're in, I hope you really have the courage to have a conversation with yourself and figure out what you need. Like, do you need to take a long break, or do you need a whole nother job? Do you need support? Like, figure out what it is that you need, because oh my god, you have the rest of your life to work. We spend a third of our lives at work. You better make sure it's a job that you find fulfilling and care about. The last thing you want is to be miserable and stuck in a place that you don't want to be stuck. I don't even really know how to end this conversation. I feel like it was all over the place. I'm sorry, it was so disorganized. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts and feelings. How are you still working at the bedside? Are you not working at the bedside? How's that going for you? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you think. Otherwise, I'm gonna close this vlog here. So I will see you guys next time. Don't forget your 10 out of 10. Don't let anyone ever make you feel otherwise. And happy Nurses Week.